everyone. So as you may know, there are plenty of products that I talk about all the time. I'm sure you're probably listing them off in your head. What Indie Lee Brightening Cleanser, May Lindstrom's The Blue Cocoon, Sunday Riley Juno, the list goes on and on. But I wanted to talk about products today that I forget to talk about because I use them all the time. And they're such a part of my, my daily ritual, even if I don't use them every day. These are a collection of products that I use extremely frequently and don't get talked about because I use them all the time that I just forget to talk about them. So let's talk about stuff that just like lives in my bathroom. I keep all my skincare, obviously you've seen in my bedroom before, because I don't think it's good to keep a lot of really, especially if it's expensive, all your skincare in your bathroom because it's just too humid. Now, I live alone, so I keep the bathroom door when I shower just to kind of get the circulation going, but if you close the door when you take a shower and it gets really steamy in there, that humidity over time will start to break down the products, especially if they are from a more natural source, and or if they aren't using a lot of preservatives because they're trying to maintain that natural integrity, if you will. The presence of heat and moisture is really degrading for products, especially, like we said, green products, fragrances, sunscreens, that sort of thing. So you really do want to keep all of your skincare away from moisture in a cool, dark environment. Sort of like me when I'm alone. I'm like, shut the windows. So let's talk about stuff that lives in the bathroom. The Glossier Milky Jelly is the cleanser that just stays in the bathroom cabinet. Sometimes it's in my shower, but most of the time it's in my bathroom cabinet. And this is just such a perfect morning time cleanser for me. The name is perfect. It's a milky jelly consistency, so it is semi-creamy, semi-emollient, semi-gel-like. If I'm wearing like a pigmented eye look, or I'm wearing a heavier foundation, or I'm wearing an intense amount of sunscreen, I would definitely do a double cleanse. But as a second cleanse, this is absolutely phenomenal. It smells very like rose water, which I really like. And it's conditioning, still cleansing. It still feels like your skin has been refreshed and cleaned after you use it, but it's not dry, it's not stripping, there's no sulfates or harsh surfactants in it, which I really appreciate. And it's more of a kind of a silicone-based consistency, I would say, is what gives it the slip. So in that aspect, it might be beneficial for removing light makeup, but I think most of us who wear concealer, powder, bronzer, brows, that sort of thing, might need something that's a little bit more. Obviously, I talk about Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid all the time, and rightfully so. I use this almost every single time that I shave my face. If I'm not using the Perricone Preempt pore refiner, I just need a BHA after I shave my face so I don't get ingrowns, and this has been my long-standing favorite. It's always effective. It's never irritated my skin. It's never been too much unless I overuse it, like I'm using it twice a day, every single day. Reduces the appearance of large pores, and it does help to kind of clean things out. It's great for active blemishes, it's great for discoloration, dark spots, dullness, etc. It does a lot of different things. It's not ridiculously expensive, and a bottle lasts forever. On a similar note, Paula's Choice Weightless Body Treatment 2% BHA. It's a BHA exfoliant for your body. Genius. And I know we've talked about this before and how I use this on my butt to get rid of bumpy skin there, but also great on the upper shoulders or in between the shoulder blades if you get sort of back knee. Great on the back of the arms if you tend to get bumps there that maybe is keratosis pilaris or KP, maybe it's not, maybe it's just texture. Or sometimes if I'm wearing a shirt and it rubs, eventually you'll get some sort of friction-induced bumps, and this really helps with that. Clarins Hand and Nail Treatment Cream. This lives on my nightstand. It is a very, very nice hand cream. I love the smell. I love that it's quite enriching, but it doesn't feel overly heavy, and it doesn't feel like balmy or greasy or anything like that. Yeah, it's sort of just, to me, it smells like clean laundry or like clean, soapy freshness, which is quite nice. Shiseido Cotton. If I'm using an exfoliant of the liquid sort or a liquid toner, I love this cotton. I know it might seem semi-frivolous to invest in sort of higher end cotton, and if you're totally happy with the cotton that you're using, feel free to to keep using it. I just wanted to try it and ended up really loving it. The thing I really appreciate about it is you don't have to use as much product as you normally do with other cotton pads. So normally with the BHA, I tell people to just do like a thumbnail size, but I can literally just dump it over a couple times, just get it slightly damp, and it's more than enough product to completely do my face, my neck, my chest, my upper shoulder blades, because that's what I do when I apply my skincare. I put it there too, because why not? So you don't have to use as much product, so your products do go a little bit farther. So I have found that even though it is, you know, $10 for a bag of cotton, number one, I'm not using them every single day, and number two, it makes my products go farther, which is awesome. And I know that some of you have seen someone talk about a dupe for Shiseido Cotton. If you know of those, feel free to let all of us know. Glossier, again, Balm Dot Com. This lives in my bag. I have a small little makeup bag, which I don't have. Oh, it's in my room. I keep a small bag with like my small blue cocoon, my Chanel Le Beige compact for like a little pressed powder action, mints, and this. I love this because it's a great lip balm. I really like it on the cheeks because it gives a really nice dewiness. I love it brushed through the brows. I love it on the eyelids for a glossiness. It is a petrolatum-based balm, which I'm totally not bothered by in the slightest, and I find that because it's a petrolatum balm, it doesn't slip and slide around the way some oily balms can sometimes do. Tata Harper Soothing Muscle Gel, which is now I think known as the Recovery Gel. This again lives on my nightstand and I use it all the time because I carry a backpack and I live in New York, so I'm walking a lot of the time. And if I've got my laptop, my 5-subject notebook, it can tend to really kind of cause soreness, especially like right where the base of my neck and my shoulder meets. That gets really sore there, so I take this and massage it in. And I wouldn't talk about this if it didn't work, and to be very honest, at first I was like, oh, a green beauty based muscle gel, what's that gonna do? And then I used it and I was like, oh, well, that's what it's gonna do. It's not a gel, it's definitely a cream, but it is absolutely effective and quite concentrated, and I use it frequently, but not every single day. I wear under eye concealer every day of my life because I don't sleep as much as I would like to, and even when I do, I still, look really dark underneath my eyes. I love Maybelline Fit Me. I have the number 10 right now, which is what I'm wearing, but I can use number 20 in the summer. I love Tarte Shape Tape. I have light medium. This one's slightly dark for me in the middle of winter. Even though we're in spring now, there's still no sun to be seen or heard from. And I love Chanel Corrector Perfection, which is actually what lives in my bag as well. And then Dior Skin, this is Dior Star, which I really like as well. And this is 02, which is more of a summer color. But I do wear under eye concealer every single day, and these are my 3 most reached for, but I will say these 2 are probably the ones I use. And then this gets used more in the summer, but I love it. So there's those. Hourglass Veil Primer. I'm wearing this around my nose. If I just know that I'm running out to like go throw the trash away, or I'm running to the grocery store on the weekend and I know I'll probably be inside for most of the day, but I want to give my skin a little sun protection, this is what I wear. It is a zinc and titanium based SPF 15, but it's a primer. So, I mean, yes, it obviously makes the skin look great, but it's a 15 that's a mineral base that doesn't look or feel like a mineral-based sunscreen, which I really appreciate about it. And as a primer, it's amazing. This is what I'm gonna wear probably on my wedding day or whatever, if I decide that I wanna get married. But I wore this to prom, I wore this on like picture day. Photograph's okay on my skin if I just use a very, very small amount. But I noticed that they actually took the SPF claims off of anywhere except at the very, very bottom on the label. Briefly they mention it, because I guess people were experiencing a little flashback, so just be careful. But I love this. It's a great little, I use it as an SPF most days, but when I use it as a primer, it's amazing too. So, similarly, something that I'm just throwing on if I just want my skin to look really great, but I don't want to spend a lot of effort on it, the Hylamide Photography Foundation. This is more about what it doesn't do than what it does, if that makes sense. It's very, it does sort of look like a filter for the skin. You can see that it's just, as I smooth it in, it looks almost like it could be a highlighter, but it doesn't have any visible sparkle or shimmer or sheen to it. And it's got sort of a very soft sheen finish that just sort of captures the light. See, that looks so good. You might not be able to tell on camera. I feel like this is, you know, moving image, but perhaps in a photograph it might look great. But it just smooths the skin, smooths the texture, smooths the appearance of kind of imperfections. It's a slight kind of whitish, yellowish tint, so I find it does neutralize a little bit of redness on my skin slightly. It gives a definite glow, so it works beautifully under other products, but I find I mainly use it just on top of my skincare if I'm just, you know, if I got friends coming over for a dinner party or whatever and I just want to make my skin look a little bit better. This is what I use. And last but not least, First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. I use this all the time. I use this without thinking about it. You know, if I've got a rough patch on my leg, or my feet feel kind of dry, or I've got kind of inflammation on my hands, or when I work in an office, the air's obviously really dry most of the time, so when I get home I do like a really thick layer of this and just like chill out while I watch SNL reruns. And it's just such a versatile product, which I really like. I use it on the face too, in some instances. After this is finished though, I plan to get the tube because it's, I think, 8 ounces. And just the idea of a tube appeals to me a lot more than sort of shoving my hand in a jar like this. This has 0.5% colloidal oatmeal, so if your concern is extreme irritation or flakiness or itchiness on the face, then I would say something like the Tata Indigo cream or the Kate Somerville, what do they, used to be the eczema therapy, I think it's dry skin savior now, and it has a much higher concentration. Whereas 0.5% is good for sort of mild irritation, but perhaps it's not whipping out the big guns, if you will. Also, this has eucalyptus in it, which doesn't bother my skin, but for some people it might, so just be careful with that. But I think it's a classic, and I love it on the body. It's nice and whipped, which I really appreciate. So that's stuff that I forget to talk about, just sort of while I was thinking about it. The main, the thing that inspired it was actually the Glossier products, because they recently contacted me and invited me to become a rep. And I was like, wait, I don't talk about Glossier, but I use it all the time. So I was like, hold on. Because like literally this lives in my bathroom, this lives in my bag, and I use these, at least one of these every day. Let's just say that. So I'm like, oh, well, perhaps I should probably talk about that because I do use it. So hopefully you're having an amazing day or night or weekend or whatever it is, wherever you are. And I will talk to you guys very soon.